Now guys, this one right here is the Poco X6 Pro, a budget-friendly smartphone with a long battery life. You got 67 watts fast charging and a 120Hz AMOLED display. Now Poco smartphones are getting better from year to year, but the one thing that stays the same is the low price. Now over here in Germany, you can get this bugger for 350 euros, which is a great price for those kind of features. So today we're gonna check out all the features, check out the battery life and the cameras, but first let's start with the unboxing. So we got that typical black and yellow box design, and the first thing that we get is a little pack with all of the paper stuff, the SIM card remover, and what I really like the most is the extra silicone case. Right below we got the Poco X6 Pro itself in that typical yellow color, and underneath the phone we have a 67 watts fast charging brick and a matching USB Type-C cable. Now up to the specs and the design. Now like you can see, I got that traditional yellow version which comes with a vegan leather bag. It really has a nice texture to it and makes it feel more expensive. The normal black and gray version will only get a normal plastic bag. On the back you can also see that we get a triple lens setup with a 64 megapixel main camera with optical image stabilization, a 8 megapixel ultra wide lens and a 2 megapixel macro camera. Now the Poco X6 Pro has a plastic frame and a glass front, which is protected by Corning Gorilla Glass 5. As for last, you have to know that this phone weighs in at just 186 grams and is only IP54 dust and splash resistant, so barely enough to withstand any heavy rain. So the Poco has a standard size 6.67-inch AMOLED display with a 120Hz refresh rate, which you, by the way, can also trim down to just 60Hz or leave it in the auto mode to probably get the best experience. The display has a 1220p resolution, which is an upgrade compared to the 1080p from last year. You get a crisp resolution with a brightness level of up to 1100 nits. It has HDR10 plus video quality and Dolby Vision. What I also really like is that the viewing angles stay the same no matter how you twist your phone, plus you get very slim bezels all around the phone, which gives it a more premium feel. As for the audio, the Poco X6 Pro gets quite loud, and even at the maximum loudness, the sound is still pretty clear. But let's give it a quick try. Of the pros and cons to help you decide which size is the best for you. To start, let's quickly compare the prices of the two different sizes. Also, you have Dolby Atmos support, and you get an equalizer with a few presets, and you can also just play around with them if you want to, but I just leave it in the auto mode for most of the time. Next up, we got the battery life, and the Poco X6 Pro is doing a very good job right here. Now this phone definitely gets you through the day without a problem, with about a third of its battery life left. Of course, it will be a bit less if you are watching videos all day long, face calling, or if you play games a lot. The 5000 mAh battery not only gets you through the whole day, but also has a 67 watts fast charging, which gets you to a 100% in like 50 minutes. Unfortunately, no wireless charging and no reverse wireless charging for the Poco X6 Pro. Next up, we got the features and the HyperOS, which runs on Android 14. First, let's check out if the fingerprint sensor works. So we got that fingerprint sensor that is right underneath the screen, and it works without a problem. So yeah, and you got a face detection as well, and that works just as good. There are even also a few different animations for the fingerprint sensor, like this butterfly or a starlight. Now the Poco X6 Pro gets 3 years of OS updates and 4 years of security updates, and the thing that I hate the most about this phone is the amount of trash and crap apps that you get pre-installed on here. Now you get stuff like Block Puzzle, Bubble Shooter, Bing, AliExpress, Dust Settle, Crazy Juicer, and a whole lot more. Gladly we can get rid of them in a matter of seconds. Now on this phone we can also change the color scheme in the display settings. By default they are in that original Color Pro, but you can also choose a more vivid or saturated style. You will also find an always on display mode on this phone, so there are a few different signatures available, analog and digital clocks, and a selected background, but they only stay on for like 10 seconds. After that the screen turns black again. As for the storage capacity, the base model of the Poco X6 Pro comes with 256 and 8 gigs of RAM for the low price of just 350 euros. If you want to upgrade that, you can go to 512 gigs with 12 gigs of RAM, and this one will cost you right around 420 euros over here in Germany. Now if you take a look into the storage settings, you see that only about 15 gigs are already taken up by the system, so not very much. As for the performance and the gaming, the Poco X6 Pro comes with the MediaTek Dimensity 8300, which is certainly good enough to swipe through your phone and open up apps without a problem, but it also has no problem with games. You can play all of the games that you find on the Play Store with a consistent 30 FPS, and with the game booster you can even go to 60 FPS without a problem. Everything just feels super smooth even if you are in a large fight with multiple enemies. Also, with the game booster you can take screenshots, turn on the D&D mode, there is a timer, plus you can change your voice into a robot, a girl, a man, or a cartoon. Now as for last, we got the camera. So there are 3 on the backside and 1 selfie camera in the front. So you get a 64 megapixel main camera with optical image stabilization, an 8 megapixel ultra wide shooter, and a 2 megapixel macro camera. Now the selfie camera has 60 megapixel and can take videos in 1080p, but with only 30 FPS. The back camera is a little bit better with either 1080p with 60 FPS or 4K with again 30 FPS. This phone also has quite a few camera modes like a normal portrait and night mode, the 64 megapixel mode, short film, long exposure, time lapse, and a few more. As for the picture quality, this phone is more than capable enough of taking pictures for the memory books or maybe nowadays your memory file on your computer. You get good details on your shots as long as you have good lighting. As soon as it gets dark, the shots get a little bit blurry, and it's the same for moving objects like my cats. You have an AI mode which bumps up the saturation of your phone just a little bit, but you can also leave the pictures as they are. The ultra wide angle shooter is doing a good job as well. The colors won't change if you compare them to the normal camera, and just the detail level is a little bit lower. Now I also shot a selfie video, and that's how it looks and sounds like. Alright, so let's check out the camera of the Poco X6 Pro, and I think it's doing a fairly good job. Now on the selfie camera you can record in 1080p with up to 60 frames per second, and if you switch it around to the main camera you can even go up to 4K and 24 or 30 FPS. But I know the sun is shining very bright right now, but it does look pretty good in my opinion. And guys, there we have it. That's the Poco X6 Pro. If you liked that video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more tech reviews. And I guess with that one being said, I will see you in the next one. Peace.